Hi Gemini, how are you? It's me, Lauren, back again. The Untitled Tarot. Sit, relax, stay a while. This is going to be a reading for Gemini, sun, moon, rising, whatever. You felt guided to be here. We are happy to have you. I was sitting in your energy for a little bit, Gemini, and I saw this little red ball, and it was like going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, what the hell is that? And I looked into it, and it was like a pinball, like from like a pinball machine, you know, and you pull it back, and it shoots a little pinball up, and it goes up into the top, and one of the little crevices, and it goes like bing, 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 like back and forth until it like finally slows down enough, and it like finds a little trail or path, and it goes down like that route back down into the machine. It was like that, but it hadn't gone down to the machine yet. It was still just like boop, 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 boop. And I felt like there's a big sense of like anticipation, like it wasn't really just a game. And like when I asked, I was like, what is going on here? And I heard like they're trying to learn how to play the game, and I was like, oh, okay. But it felt very like 8 Mile, you know, like your one big shot. Like it's not a game, it's like an arcade game that you've been playing all summer, and it's like you have like one last token. It's the last day of vacation. You know you're gonna have to go home and start school. It's like your one big shot. Like, are you gonna win? Are you gonna get it? How many times have you played? What times did you win? What times did you lose? This is the big one. It's like the championship. It feels like that. It feels almost like this is like the last, this is the big one. Lose your shot in the moment. You good. It feels like that. I don't know what's going on, Gemini. It's kind of fun though. Let's see. I also got a little glimpse of like a hand, like a little hand, like grabbing the ball and trying to like shake it. And then I got an image of like a magic 8 ball, like somebody shaking a magic 8 ball like a bunch of times so they get the answer that they want. So there might be some of you that might be feeling a little impatient, waiting for the outcome of something. And maybe you're trying to like force it like before it's ready, you know, like you can't pull a chicken out of the oven before it's ready, you know, then you get food poisoning. It's yucky, it's no good. So as always, we want to thank Source for being here with us today. Thank them for the love, the blessings, the abundance. Every day, every way, y'all. Every day. Ooh, sassy. We're going to use the Oracle of the Mystical Moments deck and the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. Oh my God. If I ever develop a tarot deck, I'm just going to call it the cards. I'm just going to call it the deck. It's just like out of control, these names sometimes. We're upstairs. I know normally I film downstairs, but I'm trying to switch it up, Friday's the spice of life, you know. I did my hair in these weird little, which is weird. I didn't want to do this, but my guys told me, they're like, do your hair like that. I'm like, I don't want to do my hair like that. They're like, do your hair like that. I'm like, okay, fine. And then I sat down and I was like, Gemini, like duality, polarity, like excuse you. I was like, oh, maybe that's got something to do with it. And I was like looking at it and I was like, you know, it's not my normal look, but like it's kind of fun. So maybe there's something in that for you guys, that like you've been playing this game all summer, you've been like working towards something for a while. Maybe if it hasn't worked out and you have like one big opportunity to like pull it through for you, maybe the best way might be to like get a little creative. Try a different option you haven't tried before. Like have a little fun with it. Put a little boogie in it. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out, Gemini. Oh my God. What do you guys? You guys fumble. Yeah, you guys are learning how to play a game. I feel like I'm learning how to shuffle these cards right now. Let's see. Oh my God. This one's like sticking out. It makes me want to take it. Oh, that came out in your pre-shuffle a lot. Ooh. Is it the game of love, Gemini? Playing the game of love? First out, we got 29. The perfect keep. I love this card. How beautiful is this card? All that yellow, that little red heart, right? Your root, sacral chakra. 24. Mermaid's love. Yes. Next out, 11. Master number, Queen Bee. Queen Bee. This has been coming out. Queen Bee's been coming out. A lot of yellow, and then there's this blue sandwich in between. That's very interesting to me. It's almost like, there's an emotional aspect. I'm like, where do I look? There's an emotional aspect like sandwiched in between, I feel like, the passion of this endeavor and the anxiety of the endeavor, like whatever it is. Like, who knows? This could be, you know, the perfect key. This could speak of love, you know, especially with mermaids, love. This card is about two beings, not necessarily the same. She's kind of part fish, she's kind of part bird, she's a little bit country, he's a little bit rock and roll, you know what I mean? But they're still holding on to each other, and they're not gripping tightly, aggressively. They just hold on to each other because they're just naturally drawn to one another, right? Then you have the perfect key, and she's got a little heart and a little cage and a little key, and you know, so this very much could be about romantic love for you. Absolutely. Trying to take a big shot on the one, or, you know, putting yourself out there and making yourself vulnerable in a situation. That could be scary, you know what I mean? That could be very nervous, and you shoot your shot and the ball's going back and forth and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the prize. I'm seeing like skee ball, you know, when it goes around and around, you're like, which one is it gonna go in? Like, which one is it gonna go in? I get a little bit of that anxiety, but it's also, it feels like anxiety coupled with excitement too. There's a lot of excitement in that. Very kind of youthful, which is nice. It's a fresh feeling. I think that maybe that's part of that, like doing something different, or having a little bit more fun with it, or trying to just like flow through it a little bit more. It's like really it's gonna help you. It's gonna help it make it happen for yourself. I love this card. It's so cute and adorable, but it's about having a goal, right? Having something that means something to you, something that makes you vulnerable, right? Because you care about it. Whether it's a labor of love, a passion project, a person, right? Soul family, soul tribe, and really wanting to protect it, right? Because there's not a lot of these. It's just one. It's just one opportunity. It's just one person. It feels like it's just one chance. You know, it feels like it's just one. We have to protect this chance, this opportunity. We don't want to waste it. We don't want to spoil it, right? I have this one key. There are all these other keys, but I know it's going to be this one. But it's like this hesitancy to unlock the cage yet. I'm almost looking at this bird. I don't know if it's like competition or other people's opinions, or just like chatter, like the chatter and the noise of life. But I'm kind of getting that, almost like naysayers, or people trying to convince you, like, no, that's that way, that route, that's not going to work to open that. No, like, you should take one of these. Like, have you thought about one of these? Maybe you should try one of these. And you're kind of looking at them, you're side-eyeing them a little bit. You're like, and you're obviously, it seems like these might be people that are close to you, because this bird is very close. It's right on her shoulder, right? It's right on her shoulder. It's right in her ear, but it's not looking at her, is it? She's looking at it, but it's not looking at her. No, it's looking at all these other little options, all these other little keys. Why don't you try this one? Why don't you try that one? Because it doesn't seem like this bird over here really cares about her getting the right key. It almost seems like it would rather have her have the wrong key. It can't even look at her in her eyes. So there might be something that you guys are really wanting or working towards, and you know that the pursuit of it, or the execution of it, or there's limited opportunities. You know, like, say, I'm getting in my head, like, say you want to be like a civil worker, like you want to be a cop, or you want to be a fireman. You have to take like the state test, or like the civil servants test, you know, and it only comes around like so often, you know, and your scores are cumulative. So you could, like, or like the SATs, you could take them however many times, but all your scores are cumulative, and like you can only kind of really take them so many times. And so when you take it, it's like, it's really important. It's like, I'm getting that sense, and other people be like, maybe you shouldn't take it, or like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or it's like almost as like them not wanting you to have this fulfillment, like almost like not wanting you to unlock this cage, this love, like, for yourself. And that doesn't have to be like, it could be people trying to convince you, like, not to be with a person, but it could also be people trying to put doubts in your head, like, oh, like, I know you really like to do that, but like, I don't know if you can make a real job out of that. Like, oh, is that really a realistic thing to go to school for? It could be like 1,001 different things, but they can't even look you in the eye. They can't even look you in the eye. And you're side-eyeing the fuck out of them, because you got your key. You're like, this is the one. I know what I want. I know what I want. Because it's weird. It's different. It's not the usual, right? Trial and error. We've been through this before. I know that I don't like a guy who has a tail, you know? And he's like, listen, I don't like a girl with feathers, so this works for me. Something weird, maybe something that is unexpected from you, a hobby, a new aspect of your personality, a new way that you want to dress or express yourself, whatever it is for you. I'm not here to tell you your business. I'm just here to tell you what I see in these cards. But this is like them being like, oh, how about this? And you're like, no, absolutely not. See, look at them. They're both looking over at this bird. This bird's looking over here because they know. It's like they can see the potential. They can see that this is like fulfillment, nourishment, love. And they're looking right back at it together. This is like down the line. Like, no way. Fuck you guys. See, it's like this little bird's like on top of them now. It's like still trying to bother them, like chirp, chirp. And they're just looking down. You know the way to go. Your soul is urging you like the right ways to take, and you'll know. It's like if you're thinking about something, you're like, should I do it this way or should I do it that way? And you get like a really weird, uncomfortable feeling. Like, think about it, address it for a second. You're like, do I have this weird feeling because it's like an insecurity thing, or it's like a self-worth thing, or I'm not able to be vulnerable or let go of control enough to like just let the situation play out? Is it that, or is it because it's like really not the way to go for me? Like, it's really not in my highest good. That takes a little time to like figure out which one it is. Is it you getting in your own way a little bit, or is it like your higher self really telling you to use your discernment in this situation? Totally up to you. That's totally within like your free will, personal power. You have to sit there for a second and make that decision for yourself, which is important to do because it's that little second where you kind of make that decision of how you're going to react or, you know, to stuff. That's that second that like changes your whole life between having a positive outcome and a negative outcome, a positive outlook and a negative outlook. Next up, Queen Bee. I love this card. This is very, this feels very Queen of Pentacles. This card's like, the card's morphed for me, but right now she feels very like Queen of Pentacles, like very stable, abundant in her infrastructure, like a girl that can do it all, like take care of herself. She can go to work, she can take care of her house, and it's balanced. It's two arms out, balanced. These little bumblebees, hard working, right? Elevating, elevating, elevating. It's that hive. You know, you don't just have honey. The bees have to go in. They have to collect the nectar. They have to go in. They have to build a hive, a little comb at a time, a little comb at a time, building those bricks. You have to build the bricks to the bridge to the other side, one brick at a time, you know? And you can't just throw them all on top of each other. It's like to build yourself a whole life, you have to take a brick. You have to build a brick and you have to put it in place. And then you have to cement it in place. And then you have to wait and let it chill, let it dry. Because if you just throw another brick on top of it, cement's all wet, it's just gonna slide right off all over the place. You're not gonna be able to get over. Like, it's about building these infrastructures. And sometimes that takes a little bit longer than we'd like. And that can create that like anxiety, you know? But being a Gemini, you live in that polarity. You live in that gray area, you know? And so I think that's why, despite any naysayers, despite any people trying to tell you otherwise, you know which freaky little key is yours. You know what's gonna make you happy. You know where you're supposed to be going. I have a feeling that your higher selves and your guides are like really nudging you a lot. And there might be some of you that are doing that like shaking the magic 8-ball kind of thing, like, oh, I just want the result I want, I just want the result I want. And you guys might be ignoring them a little bit, like those little nudges, like fighting it. And so it feels like anxiety, when really it's just like spirit calling your phone, like, hello, are you ready to talk to us? Are you ready to talk to us? Are you ready to talk to us? Pick up. They're friendly. Pick up. Let's see outcome. Ooh, okay, okay. Oh, those are two. 39. Home is my castle, right? Same damn thing. That infrastructure, strong within yourself. This is all of your lessons, all of your experiences, all the times that you have played the game before. Times that you've lost and times that you've won. That's your experience. That's your wisdom, your character. You stand upon it. You live within it. Everything grows from without. Everything without grows from within that. Yes, that's correct. That's proper. That's the proper way to say that. See this green? See what comes out? It produces. It produces. It's not just strong. It's not just hard. It's not just a fortress of protection, right? It's not just hardbound books. There's also pages with stories and lessons inside them. And that's what you sit upon as the queen bee in your freaky little castle, because you know what makes your heart sing. Don't let people tell you. 33, weaving flowers. Yes, weaving a life of your own design, Gemini. That's what we're talking about. Look, her eyes are covered. She doesn't need to see. You're so high up here now. After sitting down here with these little crows, you're so high up here now. It doesn't matter that you can't see all the way back down because you don't need to see where you're going. You're feeling through what you're going, right? That's how we play the game, what feels right and what feels wrong. That's our internal compass. And it's okay to not succeed all the time. That's how we learn how to play. Oh, I did it that way. That was too hard. I pulled that lever way too rough. Like, oh, I didn't put enough force behind that one. It's like that. It's that Goldilocks. It's that just right. You have to find your own bowl of porridge. You don't have to see it because you'll be able to sniff it out. And you'll know when it tastes good. And you'll know when it tastes bad. I'm going to go into this one now. I'm going to go into the Wild Unknown deck. Ooh, these fell out. Okay, things just flying out for you, Gemini. The Elephant, it's very divine energy. It's about divine detours, right? It's about spirit moving things in and out of our way. These different tasks, these different challenges, these different life lessons that we didn't even realize we were going through or learning until after the fact. And you're like, oh, I learned way more out of that situation than I thought. Like, oh, this solar sacral energy, all this yellow, all this red, right? I love that there is this blue here though, because that tells me that there is so much emotion in this too. And I'm just doing it just to do it, just to like be stubborn. Because like Geminis can do that. They can like flex just like for the sake of it. And I respect that. But this is telling me that there is like this level underneath, right? Almost like an iceberg. That there is such like an emotional, loving element to it for you. Which is why Spirit's coming in to help you. And so if you feel lately like there have been real pressure moments for you, or if you feel like Source has taken a lot from you for some reason, or things just haven't been going your way, know that it's for a reason. Because this is what elephants do. They move things out of their way. They pick things up, they put them down. They create new paths where paths did not exist before. And that's what Source does for you. And the golden egg. In this deck, there's the 4 elements, and then there's a 5th category, and that's source cards. This is the source card, the golden egg. More yellow. Because our base and our solar chakras, that's where we keep like our home. That's your home right there. Your stability, your infrastructure, your sense of self-love, your sense of self-worth, everything grows from there. Everything grows from there. And that's why when you really like, you go in, stop side-eyeing these people, flick them off your shoulder, let them fly away. It doesn't matter if they want to sit on your hat and chirp and spy on you or keep an eye on you or whatever. It's fine. That's fine because you know what your North Star is. And Source is helping bring it in for you because you guys both know that it's special. That there's something about you. There's something about what you want to do. There's something about the way you want to do it that's really unique to you and special to you. Source is confirming that for you. This is good and this is special. But you don't get so wrapped up in that anxiety, of like that, just like waiting, and part of it's excitement. Part of it definitely feels like excitement, but it can be very anxious. You're like, it's my 8-mile moment. Like there's a lot riding on this. So it makes sense to have those emotions, but just to really kind of let go of a little bit of control, because the only thing we can control is ourselves and the way we react to things. And then the rest is in the universe's hands, man. Just gotta hope for the best. Hope that we've learned our lessons, like we've prepared for the tests, and that we'll do well. That's all we can do, right? I'm almost seeing like the little pinball like slow down, like slow motion. Do things feel like they're like dragging out for you a little bit? Like that might be like part of the added like anxiety. Like either going too fast or they're like going too slow. It's that like polarity. You need to like right in the middle. It's that flow. That you get that flow when you start like just accepting. Like it's like studying for the LSATs. It's like trying to get into med school or college. Or you're like, I've studied as much as I could. The rest is in God's hands. Like I brought in my highlighters. I did my extra credit. Like I'm gonna get whatever grade I'm gonna get. God help me. Oh. Okay. Just going up for a starfish. Yes, let it shine. Let it shine. Bare open, vulnerable. Fuck you guys. This is who I am. I'm a weird little starfish. I'm half bird, half fish, half confused. That's fine. It's my process. It's my process. Here I am, open to show you all. It's fine. Look at this, the lamb. I love this card because this card is so trippy. It's almost like I am not a sheep. I'm a fucking starfish. I am not a sheep. I am a lamb. I'm this weird, trippy, it's very like Willy Wonka-esque. You know, I get a very like Willy Wonka when they're going through that tunnel and it's like, is that good? Is that sinister? Like you're not really sure at every twist and turn, like what something is going to be. Is it going to be sweet? Is it going to be sour? Is it going to be soft? Is it going to be sinister? And that's very Gemini, right? That duality. Both sides of the coin. You're like looking at everybody and you're like, don't look at me like I'm like this innocent little fucking, fuck you. I'm side-eyeing you. I know, I'm a trippy little lamb. I got the golden egg. This is a bear spirit. This is about you coming home like a little bit and taking a little bit of time. This feels like a very, normally this is very much of like a hibernation energy for me, but it doesn't feel like hibernation. It feels very Eight of Pentacles to me. It feels very like workshop. It feels very much of a workshop. Like, I could show you better than I can tell you. So it's like, when this little bird flies away for the day, for the night, it's like, you go home and you like work on chiseling out like this little key for yourself to make sure it fits in here, like just right. Taking care of like, remember, and it's like you're protecting this, right? Because it's important to you. It's locked away in this cage. It's almost like you're not even going to attempt to open this shit up until all this other noise gets away from you because you're afraid it like a feather might get in the cage or something. It's this golden egg. You're protecting it. So it's like this Eight of Pentacles, like you're working at night, like more of this yellow. More of this yellow everywhere. It's like yellow all day, everywhere. Everybody needs to do lower chakra meditations. That's the advice for the week. But it's really about like going in at night and like working on I almost like ways to like get these little keys, get these little birds away from you. Or like, how can I show them? Like, how can I almost like this like elevated energy, like how do I rise above them and like show them, like outshine them, and not in like a sassy, like, oh, I'm gonna outshine you, but like, starfish, where you at, starfish? Show them, shine so bright you can't even hear them anymore. I love that. Good for you, Gemini. Give them hell. That was wonderful. That was real fun. Thank you for letting me do that for you. If you need anything, you can comment down below. All of my information's in the description box if you want to be informed. Personals are open. Like and subscribe, or don't, or just come back. Come back and see me. I'm on quarantine too. I'm lonely. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.